This is the all-new iPhone 16 Pro, but is it actually worth the upgrade or just a big waste of money? Look, I'll admit it, I'm a mega Apple fanboy and I've been for quite some time. I upgrade my iPhone every single year, not because it makes logical sense, but just because I want to do it. But even I, a mega Apple fan, am looking at the iPhone 16 Pro and thinking, is this really worth the upgrade? Because the changes seem so insignificant. After spending some time with the phone, here are the top 5 things I want to show off with you guys, show you how it compares to the iPhone 15 and even the iPhone 14, because the results here are interesting and I think I might have figured out Apple's big secret. And also a big thanks to ESR for sponsoring this video. All right, so right off the bat, just looking at the backs of these phones, you would be very hard pressed to tell the difference in all of these modern Pro iPhones, because for the last few generations, maybe more than the last few, they all sort of look the same. Now look a little closer and you will see some differences. There are some new buttons on the iPhone 16 series. Of course, starting with the iPhone 15, we got USB-C, but by and large, these phones, the last couple of generations of Pro iPhones and even the non-Pro phones to a certain extent, have been pretty much similar. With the 16 Pro series, just a couple of visual differences here. There is the camera control button on the side. You've got the new Desert Titanium color, which I opted not to get because, I don't know, I got natural titanium for the 15 series and it really didn't matter to me. I'm gonna throw a case on it anyways. And also, of course, slightly larger screens, 6.7 and 6.9, respectively, for the 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. Now, if you jump on Apple's website or you watch the keynote for this phone, Apple likes to tout a bunch of new features and Apple Intelligence and spec differences. They really make it seem like you're getting a pretty big leap no matter what phone you've got. Even like the iPhone 15 Pro, according to Apple, you're getting this major leap going to the iPhone 16 Pro. But after spending some time with the phone, I want to put that claim to the test. Like, is it actually a noticeable difference? After a few days, here's what I can tell you. First, starting with the screen, I actually downgraded my phone. I had the 15 Pro Max and I went down personally to the 16 Pro, so there was a little bit of an adjustment there. But if I was to compare the 16 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max, really not a whole lot of difference. Nice to see, of course, slimmer bezels, slightly larger display there, of course, but really after about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, I really didn't notice a difference between one generation or the other if you're going from Pro to Pro or Pro Max to Pro Max. I know there are some slight tweaks to the display technology here, but you're really not going to notice much of a difference. They're both gorgeous OLED displays. They both have ProMotion. They've got the always on mode if you want to go that route. I think there are some slight tweaks with brightness and stuff like that, but really you're going to get a phenomenal viewing experience no matter which phone you pick up. So this isn't going to be a make or break for most people. In terms of performance, look, I guess I could show you like Geekbench results from one phone versus the other, and you technically have a newer generation of silicon here, but I think that we can all agree that iPhones, for as long as I can think back now, at least like the last 5-6 years or so, they've never felt slow, especially since Apple sort of adopted ProMotion on their higher end phones. That helped the phones feel snappier. It's not new to the 16 Pro. And with the new silicon inside, while you do of course have better efficiency and headroom and power and stuff like that, noticeable differences here really don't exist, at least for what I've seen and what I do on my phone. So that's not a huge deal for me. And then of course there's sort of the big to-do about Apple Intelligence. It's a big part of the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro phones. But if you've got an iPhone 15 Pro right now, you're already going to have full support for Apple Intelligence. In fact, I can't find one exclusive feature in terms of Apple Intelligence that's on the 16 Pro that's not on the 15 Pro. If I'm wrong on this, please correct me if I'm, wrong down below in the comments, but you're not losing anything by sticking with your 15 Pro. Now, camera, of course, is one thing that Apple continues to iterate on, and this might be the one area where if you're super focused on camera, sometimes the year-over-year upgrades can be significant. This year, of course, is camera control. Apple is very specific with their wording. It's not camera control button, just camera control. This allows you to sort of customize the way you can take photos and videos and control them on your iPhone. The jury's still out in my mind on this. I'm not sure if I like this or not. I'll have to do some more testing, but so far I'm not super blown away by it. But let me show you some quick photo samples here for you to judge for yourself. 15 Pro versus 16 Pro. Can you tell a difference between these two phones? And then here, of course, are some ultra-wide photos. You've got the 12 megapixel ultra-wide of the 15 Pro versus the 48 megapixel of the 16 Pro. Can you tell a difference? And then, of course, for good measure, 15 Pro Max versus 16 Pro Max, or doesn't matter, 16 Pro even too, 5x telephoto. Here's the difference between there. Can you notice a difference between these phones? Now, something else to keep in mind that you need to know about the new iPhone 16 is that in order to really get the best experience, you need to have the best accessories. That would be a super sleek and protective case and screen protector, and if you're looking for the best, look no further than the amazing lineup from this video's sponsor, ESR. Like this right here, the classic hybrid case with stash stand that gives you a beautiful slim and sleek case, also sort of a nice accent color there, but still has the clear back so you can sort of see the original iPhone color you chose underneath. Shock-absorbing air guard corners will keep your new iPhone safe and sound from any accidental falls, and here's the coolest part. This little piece right here that guards the camera is also the stash stand, get the name there. It pops right out so you can sort of prop your iPhone up, watch videos. How cool is that? Now, if you're more of a traditional case kind of person and you're looking for something more in that realm, but you like the versatility of the stash stand, look at this guy right here. This is the Cloud Soft case with stash stand. It's designed with a durable 5-layer structure to withstand drops from 11 feet and has got a premium liquid silicone that's comfortable and also available in a few different pops of color as well. And of course, for ultimate protection, there's the groundbreaking 3-layer design of the Cyber Tough case, of course, with stash stand, packing a whopping durability of 7 times military protection with its ability to withstand a drop from up to 23 feet. Plus, it comes in a variety of colors and, of course, it's packing that stash stand. All of these cases are fantastic. Of course, they're gonna give you full functionality and unrestricted use of any MagSafe accessories you wanna use on your iPhone. Also, they've been tested to have better and faster wireless charging MagSafe speeds in the competition, and they are going to pair perfectly with this right here, the Armorite screen protector, which is easily the easiest iPhone screen protector that I've ever installed. So whether you're going iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro, or really if you're buying any iPhone for that matter, ESR has got some amazing cases and accessories you've got to pick up today to give your iPhone a much needed upgrade. So if you want to learn more, check them out for yourself and give your new iPhone the upgrade it deserves. Check out all that ESR has got to offer, the link right down below in the description. I think if you're looking for the most versatility out of your camera system, this is where the iPhone 16 Pro, of course, is gonna have the advantage because it just has better hardware. There also is some new software stuff too to the 16 Pro series that Apple's giving you the ability to adjust, toned or color temperature, something like that. There's some new sort of video adjustments in there as well, audio effects and stuff like that. There, of course, is the ability to do 4K 120, which I think is a really awesome thing. So if you do a lot of video work on your iPhone, this might be, or I guess photo work too, might be reason enough to upgrade, but this is probably like the one area that would make sense and give you a noticeable advantage over what you're getting on the 15 Pro. And while I haven't had enough time to do a comprehensive sort of battery analysis just yet, from earlier results I've seen, of course, 16 Pro battery life is looking pretty good. Saw an interesting comparison here that shows that you're gonna be getting, at least according to this testing from, I think it's like Tom's Hardware, significantly better battery life on the 16 Pro series. So I'm interested to see how that plays out long term. I will tell you though, anecdotally, I always sort of have good battery life to start. Like on my 15 Pro Max, things were good, but then the further along throughout the year I had, till the 1 year mark, the battery life was not very good at all. Battery health went down. I felt like the battery was degraded. So it'll be interesting to see how this sort of holds up over a longer period of time. Okay, so as I sort of frame this initially as a versus, you can probably tell according to the timeline of this video that really wasn't much of a versus, but there's a reason for that. That was by design, because as I tested the phone and compared the 16 Pro to the 15 Pro and even the 14 Pro, there are 2 or 3 big takeaways that I've got that I really think reshape the narrative about the 2024 iPhone lineup and specifically Apple's plans for the 16 Pro and really the iPhone moving forward. Takeaway number 1, if you've got a 15 Pro iPhone, 99% of you do not need to upgrade to the 16 Pro as there really is no tangible benefit. Really, the 2 use cases I see are A, if you're sort of a crazy Apple person like me and you just want to upgrade and you want to spend your money that way, then go for it and have the new phone, or you're on the iPhone upgrade program, go for it. And two, if the iPhone camera is your main tool, like you rely on that for your photo or video work, like that's how you make your money, I do think having 4K 120 is really nice, and just the upgraded hardware and versatility in general might be worth it to make that investment in getting a new tool for your craft or your hobby. But I think reason number two here is a bit more important, and the thing that I really took away from all this, and that is that I think now the sweet spot is the 3 to 4 generation upgrade cycle. iPhone 15 to iPhone 16, very, very, very minor upgrades. iPhone 14 to 16, a little bit more noticeable, but not a huge deal. But if we go back to iPhone 13 or iPhone 12, that's where the upgrades start to compound. And I think that is where this phone makes way more sense, and where I've got to reframe my thinking. I think so many of us, and I'm guilty of this, are comparing one generation previous to the current generation, or 14 to 16 or 15 to 16, where we really should be looking at the iPhone 12 or the iPhone 13 or iPhone 11, because that is where this investment in a new phone makes way more sense. For example, if you're making the jump from an iPhone 13 Pro to an iPhone 16 Pro, you're gonna get a lot of upgrades here, not just all like the new stuff that the 16 Pro has to offer, but also things that we've had for the last couple of generations. For example, you're finally getting USB-C on the bottom of your iPhone. You're getting a ProMotion display. You're getting the dynamic island. You're getting lots of meaningful camera upgrades. When you look at these generational upgrades, they seem pretty small, but when you're making a big leap like that, that is where this makes way more sense. And that, I think, is where a 16 or 16 Pro really is worth it, because when you add all these features together, you're getting a much bigger upgrade than going from 1 or 2 generations to the new one. And that's maybe where the truth of my third takeaway comes with this video, and that is that the idea of the verses we've done or the upgrade cycles, things have certainly changed. I think many of us are still longing for the years of the jumps from the iPhone 7 to the iPhone 10. That was a 1-year jump, by the way, because that was a weird year, but 4 to the 4S or 3GS to the 4, when we had these year over year or every other year, every 2-year improvements where things were significantly better, we were so focused on upgrading every year, every other year. But now you're really waiting 3 or 4 or 5 generations to upgrade your phone. And this certainly seems to be the sort of path that Apple is moving on forward. They're not so much worried about the generation or two of phone previous to the new one. They're looking at the older iPhone that is looking to get replaced when the user makes the upgrade. So that's going to be interesting to see. Definitely a new strategy here, and interesting to see this play out, because I think this is a very clear year that the iPhone 16 Pro is not the blockbuster upgrade many would want, but maybe the enthusiasts who are complaining, like myself, aren't the target audience in a lot of cases, but it's someone with a little bit of an older generation iPhone. So all this has just been super interesting. I'm curious for you guys, what are your thoughts on this? If you did pick up an iPhone 16 Pro, what phone are you coming from? Are you coming from a 15 Pro or a 14 or a 13 or a 12 or from Android? Please let me know in the comments down below, and just your thoughts on this in general. Do you think that this is Apple's strategy? Are they making more minor changes to appeal to the older generation of iPhone than the newest one? Do you think this is a good move or a bad move? Drop a comment down below and let me know. As always, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. I am Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.